Life with me, Gina Marie. Braciole. In the Crockpot this time. We're going to make braciole in the Crockpot. We made it on the range or gas stove before, but this one's going to be 4 hours on high. Get about 1/3 of a chopped onion and toss it on top of some chopped chunky garlic into your Crockpot. You could throw a little red pepper in there if you want, or anything you want really, but we're going to get this sauce going here with a can of tomatoes. This is crushed tomatoes. And then I'm going to follow up with the water, 1 can of water with the same can, and stir really good with the onions and the garlic. And then I'm going to add some red pepper flakes, hot pepper flakes. I don't measure, so kind of, spice to taste. Okay, we got those going. We like it nice and spicy. Everybody knows that. Next, we're going to put in some salt and also pepper, black pepper. You can use ground pepper. This is ground pepper, but it's just already ground. I don't have the grinder. Hard with the arthritis at my age, Gotta have your pepper ground. And we're gonna stir it up or stir it up. Nice. Then I'm going to add probably most of this tube of tomato paste. Again, this is Centos. I like them, but they have other brands, and you could use a can. I'd say maybe like 3/4 of a little can in there. That'll make it nice and thick. Stir that up really good. I happen to have some frozen basil from this summer. Lucky me. But you can use fresh basil from your garden or dry basil. I've washed and dried this, and it's been in the freezer. I'm gonna just crunch it right out of the freezer, right in. You could chop it, but it just smells just like you picked it. It smells so good with tomatoes. I love basil. So put as much of that as you want in there. We like a lot. We're going to stir it up really well, incorporate that tomato paste and everything. And I have it on high right now. I'm going to just leave it on high with the sauce in there while I make the braciole. So I'm going to put the lid on here, and we will reset it for 4 hours after the braciole is in the pot. But for now, just let's get it going. Let the sauce get all incorporated into all its flavors together. Here I've pounded out my braciole meat or round steak, whatever you use. I like real thin, and if not, you could pound it. I showed that in the other video if you want to watch. The only thing different here, we're using salt and pepper, of course, but we're going to be using a different cheese, and we're not going to use a raisin. So in the last video, we used Parmesan cheese. This one, we're going to use Romano. Before that, we're going to put some, I got a new one. I use so much of this stuff. Hard with your arthritis, but I'll get it off. There we go. On with the show. Sorry about that, gang. I'll screw that back on, or you can have a disaster. Garlic powder. Okay. Onion powder, garlic powder on top of all the little 4 bracioles. Yeah, just get it on there. I have them room temperature, by the way. And I'm going to get the onion powder now. There we go. I use, whatever brand comes in a big, large can, so I can save money. Although, you cook a lot, you use a lot. Ooh, I almost lost it. There we go. Alrighty then. Now, we're going to put some breadcrumbs. I like seasoned Italian breadcrumbs, but you can use, not seasoned, and season it yourself. It has a little spice in there, a little oregano, I think, and a little basil, but that makes it nice. It will absorb the moisture inside around the egg, and all the flavors will come together. Then the Romano cheese. You can use any kind, but we used Parmesan in the last video. We're going to use Romano this time. And just pour it on there. It's going to fall out when you roll it up, so put plenty. They always say I waste. I try to conserve, but... And then I did show you how to make the hard-boiled egg in the last Braciole video. And it was also the answer to one of my questions in our Strive to Be Happy giveaway. It was about the Braciole video, and the question was, how did we cook the egg? How was the egg prepared in the Braciole video? And the answer was hard-boiled. Congratulations, winner. We're having another contest now. It's coming up in November. This is 2020, November. And what you want to do in the meantime is what you're doing now. Watch a video of mine. Copy the recipe at home. And before you eat it, get a picture, a selfie of yourself with your dish that you cooked from my video, and send it to me privately in my inbox at Facebook on Life with me, Gina Marie. I don't watch TV. I don't know where I got Lifetime, but Life with me, Gina Marie. Submit your photos, your selfie photos. And in November, I'll be having 4 judges choose the winners. The dish that looks most like mine in the video you choose. You can pick any dish. It doesn't have to be the whole meal. As long as I see a nice, clear, beautiful picture that looks something like mine. The judges are going to judge as to how close you can get to having it look like the one in the video. So, and then you will get a call, and the winners will be announced. I will announce more about this on Life with me, Gina Marie. You can also go to www.lifewithmeginaMarie.com. And we have these videos on YouTube and Instagram also. But make all your comments and likes right here on Facebook right now, because this is where we're working from. This page, Life with me, Gina Marie. I pre-cut my strings to my bracioles, and I'm tying them like a Christmas present. Because I'm just a housewife, I'm not a chef. I have arthritis, I don't know how to tie. But I'm going to make these go like a little Christmas present. Wrap around. And tuck the ends in the best you can. Now sometimes I braise them in the oven, in the broiler there. I braise them before they go into the sauce, whether the sauce is on your range or stove, or if it's in the slow cooker like we're doing today. You can have a prepared sauce in that crock pot waiting if you like, and throw your braciole in it. You might have your own kind of sauce that you like. Put that in the crock pot, let it get heated up while you're preparing the braciole. This way, the sauce will be nice and hot equally to the hot braciole that we are going to sear before we put them in the sauce. So they'll be pretty much both cooking together on the same level. And then we're going to let that slow cooker go for 4 hours on high. And the meat comes out, I think, more tender in the crock pot or slow cooker than it does when you stir it on the stove for hours and cook it. The meat is a different texture totally. This will melt in your mouth literally. Just don't eat the string. Make sure you remove the string before you serve your braciole so people don't eat it. It's not good. Some people choose to use toothpicks to close the back of the braciole with the meat. It's a pretty cool idea, but with my hands the way they are, I'm afraid I'm going to poke myself or something. So I stick with the string. I've been doing it for years. It's a Sicilian Italian dish tradition in our family. And again, these are different. We didn't put the raisin in it. If you want to see the hard-boiled egg tips, go to my first Braciole video. This will probably be my last Braciole video unless I think of another way to make it. That would be interesting. So we got them all tidy, and you could roll them in the crumbs. It doesn't matter. I usually salt and pepper them at this point, but I forgot in this video, so this is a voiceover. So what I'm going to do is get the pan nice and hot with a little bit of canola oil or olive oil, whatever you like. I like canola oil. It browns nice with this. Drip, drip, drip. So get it bubbly hot. You want the pan really hot because you want to really sear all sides of the little Braciole meat packages that you just made. So you're going to lay them in the pan. And I'm going to speed things up a little here for you. There's my salt and pepper that I had forgotten earlier. It doesn't really matter. Try not to turn them too much like I am here when they're sticking, because you don't want to rip or tear the meat. But, for a video, I'm always in a hurry. So I want to try to stand them up on their little sides, too. They give you a hard time. So it's a little easier when you're doing more of them. They kind of lean on each other, but they only go for a couple of seconds. I mean, it browns pretty fast. You don't want to cook it because it's going to cook for 4 hours right here. All right, we're going to stir that up. It should be nice and warm by now. We're going to set it for 4 hours. Put the meat in at this time and smother it with the nice sauce that got really thick and hot while we were making the Braciole. You can see the steam coming up in the corner there. And the Braciole's right out of the hot pan, so they're just going to continue cooking with the basil and the onions and the garlic and all the spices inside of the meat, and the meat is going to kind of melt to the egg. Some people crumble the egg. I have to try that sometime, but my husband likes it this way. Don't mind this angle. I couldn't fix it, but we're going to show you how to set the slow cooker. I'm trying to maneuver the camera with my arthritis hands. Sorry. Okay, let me get it steady here. There you go. I'm sorry it's sideways, but we're going to try to put it on high for 4 hours, but hit that 4 hours and don't hit that. You set it back on. Put it back to high, 4 hours, and then don't touch any more buttons, Gina, Marie. There you go. We're good to go. I'll see you in 4 hours. Wow, that was quick. They're buried in the sauce. I gotta find them. There they are. I'm gonna pull them out, take the strings off, and serve them. Enjoy. I hope you like it and strive to be happy. Look for us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.